The convoy landed with a bone-jarring thud on the jagged surface of Arachnea Prime, a planet notorious across the outer sectors for its brutal wildlife, and a ruling species feared even among hardened bounty hunters. Captain Jalen Rhys stepped down from the hovercraft, his pulse quickening despite years in the galaxy's deadliest zones. This mission was different, more dangerous, more personal. The colony outpost was a dusty cluster of battered shelters, surrounded by towering spires of crystal and thorn-like growths shimmering with iridescent venom. The settlers, descendants of failed terraforming teams, had long whispered of the Queen, an apex predator of terrifying renown. Not just a beast, but a sovereign of her species. The Myrrath, a cannibalistic hive queen whose hunger was said to be insatiable, her demands ruthless. Jalen's employers had a simple message for him. "The Queen claims tribute every 10 years, said Karan, the colony's grizzled leader. "This time she wants a human. An offering. We can't afford to lose more people, but it's what keeps her from raising us all." The burden fell to Jalen, to be delivered to the Queen or die trying. The price of survival. Jalen had heard the stories. The Myrrath Queen was colossal, with chitinous armor plates, eyes like molten gold, and a maw lined with dagger-like teeth. She feasted on challengers, devouring those who dared defy her. But a rare few had survived, and some whispered of an even stranger fate for those she chose not to eat. He was to be the next tribute, a pawn in the colony's desperate game for survival. As the sun dipped behind jagged cliffs, Jalen was escorted through a cavernous passage glowing faintly with bioluminescent fungus. His mind raced, picturing every possible outcome. Could he fight? Could he escape? Or was this a death sentence disguised as mercy? The deeper they went, the more oppressive the air became. The walls pulsed with movement. Hundreds of Myrrath warriors, limbs twitching in eerie synchronization, their antennae flicking as they sensed his presence. At the cavern's heart, an enormous chamber yawned open. There, on a throne of twisted bone and crystalline resin, sat the Queen. She was terrifying beyond words. The Queen's judgment. Her carapace gleamed under the flickering light, segmented limbs folded with regal composure. As Jalen approached, her many eyes fixed on him, not with hunger but curiosity. "You come willingly, human." Her voice was a resonant echo inside his mind, transmitted telepathically. "Few do. You understand what you offer yourself to." Jalen's throat was dry, but he nodded. "I'm here to keep my people safe. If my death spares others, so be it." The Queen's mandibles clicked softly. "Sacrifice is honored. But you are not like the others. There is something within you." She rose, towering over him, the scent of something strange, dangerous yet intoxicating, filling the chamber. Her gaze bored into him, and Jalen felt an unfamiliar heat spreading through his veins. "You carry the blood of the ancients," she whispered. "A rare lineage. The firstborn. Your DNA sings a song that calls to me." Jalen stepped back, confused but entranced. "I don't understand." "You will," she said, extending a clawed hand. "You are not here to be food." The bond of the firstborn. The Queen led him to a bioluminescent pool, where she dipped a slender limb, tracing glowing patterns across his skin. The sensation was electric, awakening dormant memories, visions of stars, of ancient alliances, of a time when humans and Myrrath were intertwined. "I claim you as mate," she declared, "not as prey." The word struck him like lightning. "Mate. But I'm human. You're a predator. And I am your queen," she replied. "Your kind once worshipped us. Your ancestors knew this bond. Together we could bring balance, end the endless cycle of fear and death." Jalen hesitated, torn between instinct and a strange hope blossoming inside him. The Queen's presence was overwhelming, but also strangely comforting. She did not seek to destroy but to unite. In the days that followed, Jalen learned the depths of Myrrath culture, their rituals, their pain, their fierce loyalty to their queen. He discovered a language beyond words, woven with pheromones and subtle mental impressions. Challenges and change. Not everyone accepted this alliance. The Myrrath warriors viewed Jalen with suspicion. To them, he was still a foreign body, an oddity that disrupted their order. One warrior, Talrek, challenged Jalen in the arena, a brutal trial to prove his worth. The battle was fierce. Jalen, relying on human agility and tactical cunning, barely survived. When he bested Talrek, the warriors reluctantly bowed. Meanwhile, Jalen's own people feared his transformation, unsure if their sacrifice had been in vain. But as he stood beside the Queen, radiating newfound strength, they began to hope. Together, Jalen and the Queen began to reshape the planet's fate. The Queen's hunger softened, replaced by a fierce protective instinct. Her subjects thrived under a new era, one where humans and Myrrath lived not as prey and predator, but as allies. The new dawn. Months passed. Jalen's body adapted. Muscles stronger, senses sharper. He was no longer just human. He was something new. In a final ceremony, beneath the shimmering spires of Arachnea Prime, the Queen and Jalen united in a ritual older than memory. Their bond sealed, a promise of peace and power. As dawn broke, the colony witnessed a sight unimaginable. A human and the cannibalistic Queen standing side by side, rulers of a world reborn. Jalen had come as food, but he became the heart of a new empire.